and watching a video of a protest that took place in Oakland, California, in response to the recent issues of Michael Brown. And actually, that's what they were speaking of about the most is Michael Brown, because we have Eric Garner also, but they've been mentioning Michael Brown by name. And as I watch it, on a couple occasions, I had an emotion arise out of me. I suppose it's an emotion of sadness. I don't know. I felt like crying at times. A couple times. Can't speak to the truth of exactly what it is. It happened when something was specifically said. It happened when something specifically was seen. I noticed something. This emotion arose. Now, some will hold that this emotion is valid, and is that the reason I'm getting emotional is because it speaks to the validity of the problem that's going on for us African Americans specifically, and the things that are taking place currently, things that have taken place throughout our history, things that may take place in the near future that are a detriment to us. Yet in truth, and one must always say in truth, I question the validity of said emotion. Once again, I am not able to speak to the cause of that emotion. I can attempt to break it down and try to postulate something, whether it is because it's blacks, whether it is feeling empathy for that which you said before, feeling empathy for Michael Brown. One time I got emotion just when they panned out and they started showing people coming to look at what's going on as the crowd starting to increase from when they initially started, because they've in some manner changed themselves to, excuse me, at the BART station, so the trains, because they call it trains, the BART station, so they shut it down. They appear to be linked from the inside coming out, so it can't move. So people on the platform should get on a train, but it can't go. So and people are starting to investigate what's going on, bring up the cameras. But why is that emotion? Just because it panned out, and that's how people come in as emotion. So what is the seed for that emotion that it's difficult to speak to? But because I think of people like caring or what, I don't know. Which speaks to the issue of emotions and being able to validate in truth that emotions have validity to them, or that they at the least have to be ranked among its usefulness, its validity, its purpose, its place within all there is: emotion, reason, thought, things of that nature. Because of the examining emotions, along with the good, along with what we say it is there to drive us through good at times, especially when we think in terms of love, where it is emotions that leads us to do bad also. For it is the rising of the emotions within me that caused me, and what came to mind as I thought about it, which caused me way back when, before my wife and I got married, that we were arguing about something. I got mad, and I threw a 1 pound block of cheese, standing from in a doorway leading outside, all the way to her standing in the kitchen. It's an apartment, but she was in the kitchen, in front of the sink, counter cabinets. From the doorway, I was able to toss it and directly hit her in the center of her chest. That was driven by emotion. The emotion that caused me to kick and break a glass coffee table that we had. Shattered the glass. It was emotion that when I broke up with my wife before we got married and we got back together, that it was my sincere attempt. It was within my mind. It was my sincere tip of me believing that to save her the pain of me leaving her, that the best thing to do would be for me to make her hate me. That's what I thought. This is in truth of what I thought at that time as being best. But I was going through the process. It was my emotion which led me to grab her by her neck and shake her. So again, it was driven by a thought of doing something right, but emboldened and powered by an emotion. It was an emotion that day that led me to feel that the best way to deal appropriately with my son, who being whatever belligerent, disrespectful, whatever it is, giving problems repeatedly, that I felt that the best thing for me to do was to confront him, and that we physically fight. It was that emotion that was there initially that challenged him. Now at the point that I put him in a chokehold, which didn't take place until after the drive from the school to home, that emotion dissipated, and it went from emotion to me determining by way of reason that this needs to be done, that this confrontation needs to take place. But it was emotion that put into action. It was emotion that came to head a day that built up over time, but it was emotion. So maybe for every instance we can point to a good emotion brings, that we can do the good of it, we can commit by way of being emotional, by way of love and compassion and empathy. What is always the bad. And so it is a question in truth of the validity of emotions. Even if this is good, but it is a bad, and even in once again, at times for what we perceive as being good, we do bad. So again, this is a question in truth, and not only because I'm questioning in truth of the validity. It is truth that demands that it be verified, validated, and vouched for. It is only truth that says so, because it exists, and truth asks of it. Truth speaks to it. Truth speaks to it, and because we are born in ignorance, we must ask of it if we are ones that believe in truth, that love truth. Maybe not that emotional love, but love as in a focused intent and purpose to seek it, to keep it on our minds all the time, so always thinking it, to think of the truth of things, to try to think in truth, to process in truth, to put it on a proverbial heart, to have a passion for it, to say a love for it, love, and once again, it might not be that chemical love for it, but a love, and once again, in action. Right? I'm going to do what's best for it. I'm going to do what's best for truth. The best thing to do for truth is to speak to truth, to look to truth, to live in truth, by truth, through truth, with truth. To say one loves truth is to, once again, to do what is best for truth. And the only thing you can do for truth is to speak to it. Speak about it. Love it with our soul, with our just very essence of being. Once again, knowing that our essence of being, the essence of all being and existence, is based in truth. So it's loving that which is, and that which is truth. There's nothing else. So it takes our full strength. Our strength and willpower. One holding believing that we have free will is saying, I willfully choose to seek truth, to love truth, to try to be one with truth, to try to understand, understand, truth. To attempt to comprehend all things and discern all things through truth. To say truth is my God. My God. Truth shuts down all things which is not truth. Truth shuts down all ignorance.